Hello and welcome to this episode of Let's Chat MetaPWR. My name is Anna Foley and I have the delight of interviewing Sylvia Juhas, who is a busy working mama of four, full-time teacher, loves nature and natural products, loves doTERRA and sharing this in her world. Sylvia is here to share her journey using MetaPWR and the positive outcomes she's experiencing. To start with, Sylvia, can you take us back to just before you started on MetaPWR and how were things for you then?
So thank you, Anna, for that lovely introduction. So basically about this time last year, I had returned to full-time work, full-time teaching load, and this time of year is just crazy anyway, regardless whether you're a teacher or not. And then like with family commitments, that amps up. At the time, I had my husband working one on, one off in the mines. So we've been doing that for 2 years. And I have a couple of children with autism as well and some other things going on for them. So very neuro-spicy world we live in, the Juhas household. And life was just pretty much on survival mode. And I have been in that space before, and it's not a very nice space to be in the sense that everything that brings you happiness gets pushed aside and you just go through the daily functions that are just going to get you through the morning to the nighttime and then start all over again. So I reached out to Jackie Isles and I said, Jackie, can you come up with a protocol for me using oils? I hadn't started on MetaPWR. I wasn't even taking the Lifelong Vitality back then. And she did a beautiful protocol, and within about a month, I started feeling so much better. I had actually checked into a private mental health clinic because my mental health was not very good at that stage. And it was more of like self-care. Like I'm under the care of a beautiful psychiatrist. I do my oils. I do meditation. I have all these things going on because I don't believe in a one-stop shop as in medication. I believe in a very holistic approach to things. So I had checked into there. Life was still very delicate, I would say. But then after using the Lifelong Vitality and MetaPWR religiously, I could just feel that fog being lifted and into this thriving mode and not just surviving.
I think what you're sharing here is so valid to so many. We're inundated with stress and responsibilities and demands of the day, and it just feels like you're swamped in it, like you described. So then you started taking it. Was it easy to create a habit in those days, or was it something you intentionally had to focus on?
Yeah, I think because in the mornings I'm such a habit little person. Like I wake up and I shower and then do the whole doTERRA regime of that. Like your deodorant, the toothpaste you use, you're rolling on balance, you're putting Claricalm on. So I just slipped in collagen sachet, easy with that, because while I was doing my coffee, I had that as the first thing hitting my stomach of a morning. I put in a few drops of the oil as well, just as an extra dosage of that. So I found taking the collagen was just super easy, and it's almost like I look forward to that because I know that I've set up myself for good habit stacking throughout the days. And then when it came to the oil, I have that in my water bottle, basically because it's the steel. And so I've got it in there. It's not plastic or anything. And that gets me through quite a big portion of the day. Like I've put in quite a few drops. I'll do that a couple times a day. So that's oil. I'll even just drop it straight back in my mouth because I'm that weirdo that can just do that. And I know that it's so good for you as well. And then when it comes to the assist capsules, I tend to have those if I'm at school and I know that I've got like a delicious carby type meal for lunch. I'll make sure that I do have that a half an hour, like the capsule half an hour before I have that, say like fried rice or something like that. And I found that by the time I get home, I'm not in that peckish 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock binge of carb loading and all that sort of stuff in us. So that's really helpful in an appetite sense. And then I'll only ever have a small thing for dinner too, which is great. And if I have remembered, I'll have another lot of assists, but generally just one a day.
Okay, yeah, great that you've created those habits and you're stacking them onto other things that you already.
Yeah.
What were the changes that you noticed, Sylvia? Talk us through that.
It was more, my whole thing is up here. If this is not functioning, if this is in a fog, if this is in a constant state of just heightened sense of anxiety, it's not good. And I know when I'm getting overwhelmed, and the amount of stuff that I can take on now is just incredible. And I really think it's this magical potion that we have, which I think is so fabulous, and everyone needs to be on it. My other thing is, I know that it's good stuff. Like, I might not have that weight loss, or I might not have all of that other stuff that other people experience. However, my thing is how I feel up here, and that's number one for me. I like to be very present in what I do, whether it's being a mum or a teacher or just Sylvia. I like to be present, and I feel that MetaPWR gives me that. I take it in relationship with the lifelong vitality, and I never miss that. And when I haven't had that, I can feel that as well. Like, it wouldn't be like a day. If you've run out or something, you really start to feel that. So my big thing is the mental clarity and just having that brain fog lifted and being able to cope with stressful situations, I think is a bit of a superpower as well that MetaPWR gives us. Yeah. And just the fact that I know it's good for me, I think that gives you that whole extra level of not knowing that it's so good for you.
Do you want to go a little bit deeper into your mental wellness journey? Just thinking it might touch others who watch this.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yep. I have always had anxiety and depression at some level. Probably, look, maybe I think my very earliest would have been maybe about 10 years old, but in my teens, and then throughout uni, it was like a bit prickly, and on and off Zoloft, which is sertraline, on and off that for stress periods and things like that. I'm very empathetic as well, so that probably doesn't help my cause in being an anxious person. However, I find that having my oils, having my small dose of medicine that I'm on, really helps me thrive. So I always say, like, my medicine just makes me survive, and it does. I function, I can go to work, can be a mum, but it just isn't me. Like, I'm an all or nothing girl. And my thing is, I didn't want to just be in that survival mode. And I knew that reaching out to Jackie was going to get me in the thrival mode, like thriving, not just surviving. So I had always had a level of that anxiety. And then when I was pregnant with my 20s, I actually had almost like a psychosis, and I had a hospitalization in a private clinic, and that was a total of 5 weeks, which was a long time. And I had 2 little people under 3 at home, so that was pretty full on. And then I was on mood stabilizers. And so basically with that, like, I had gone up and down with dosages and things like that, but I found a beautiful psychiatrist who totally supports doTERRA and my usage, which is awesome. And she has me on a very small dose of my medicine that she diagnosed me with, bipolar type 2, as well as some other little things that a lot of women my age do have, like ADHD, but I think all the good ones do. And so basically, I have bipolar type 2 that's managed through therapy, and I haven't seen my therapist for a little while, but I take on all of that stuff that we speak about, my oil usage, my MetaPWR, my LLV, my lifelong vitality, that is, for those who don't know that little one, and just basically growing in myself as well. And so I'm all about speaking about mental health. And I just think this product, even if you don't feel particular things, there are things happening. I can put my hand on my heart and say that things happen behind the scenes. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
How was it that you took notice of those things happening? Was it through journaling, just self-awareness?
Very much self-awareness. I think I do enough writing and things when I'm in the workplace and doing my doTERRA business, but it's just those aha moments. Like, they're those moments where you're like, oh goodness, I didn't lose my shit when I didn't have my visa at Melbourne Airport. That's what happened. True story. And I just think it's that whole central nervous system regulation. I just think that with our secret weapons on board, we can take over everything. Like we can have that positive power, positive thoughts, and the power of positive thoughts. I'm just very observant of myself and how things used to be, and how I'm not feeling like this at a particular time, like I was last year and the year before, and things like that. So I just think it's just awareness. Yeah, yeah. Not so much journaling. It's just me reflecting, and I think a lot about a lot of things. Yeah, and that's one of them.
And has it had an impact on your relationship, Sylvia? You've talked about with your children. What about your family dynamics, things like that?
Yeah, yeah. I think I have a lot more energy. When I first started teaching little people, the preps and year 1 and year 2, that was last year, I would come home every Friday and I would just be zonked. I would be like, Mummy's just having a nap. And I'd be like, out of it. And there was one time, look, my girls, they're not babies, but Poppy was 12, Stella was 10. And one night they just let me sleep till 8 o'clock. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't do dinner for them. But they had cooked dinner, they had bathed and all the rest. But I thought, oh, that is not cool. This was this time last year. I was like, that is not cool, Sil. Just putting that out in Facebook land. But I just thought that's crazy. And it is only those times that I have not taken my collagen in the morning that happens. And it's very rare, guys, very rare that happens again. But yeah, so I can tell that our relationships are different because I have more energy and I have that ability to just let things slide a little bit more, or respond differently to how I may have done that in the past. Yeah,
So it's taking you on a lot of different healing aspects physically.
very much.
And what about, so you're saying your productivity, your brain fog's cleared,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like more energy.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. We all still get tired because we are human. And sometimes when we take on more and more, we do get that little bit of fatigue. But I think you bounce back much better. I'm actually sleeping really well, which is pretty good. Like I wake early and I go to bed early. At 2 o'clock, wake up. It isn't like you're there for like hours staring at the ceiling or anything, Anna. So that's really awesome. And when I wake up, I feel alive, which is good. Like I'll get up at 4:45 and just start my day. Yeah, start my day with MetaPWR, and just start the day and enjoy that beautiful quiet time as well, which is really nice. Like I could sleep in and then 6 o'clock when everyone else gets up and just have that hectic time, but it's just my time. And I think I sleep better being on MetaPWR. Yeah.
You're doing remarkably well because, Sylvia, you're only just back from traveling overseas, and to be able to do this interview with such energy and gusto, well done.
Thanks, Anna.
Do you think it's helped with things like that, traveling, and it's easy to take with you?
Completely. Yeah, the little sachet so easy to take with us and stuff. And it's just, yeah, on the go. Like I have them in my little cosmetics bag. I have a few at school. Like just placing things around where you are is a good habit stacking idea as well. Not just having them in a little drawer and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. When we went to Vietnam, and I really think like we had a really big travel day. Like I was up at 5:30. I think I got an hour and a wee bit on the plane going over to Vietnam. And I didn't need that sleep in the afternoon or anything. Like I just enjoyed the whole day until I went to bed on that Monday night. Yeah. So I wasn't like, get me to the hotel room so I can nap. It wasn't like that. We went out and all sorts of stuff. So that was really awesome. And yeah, it could very well be from MetaPWR.
So good. You'll have to have another trip to just check it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Research.
Yeah, some research. I wondered, you mentioned it's all about holistic care, self-care, and has MetaPWR changed your eating habits in any way?
Yeah, for sure, Anna. Yeah, because I think like I've said a couple of times about the daily habit stacking, and I think when you start off the day with a good habit, you build on that. Like when it comes to things like my eating, I just make sure that it's the good stuff that you're first putting in, and not just craving chocolate and lollies and things like that as well. And when you are feeling like that, oil is so good for that as well. And like, as I said, like I just down it a couple of drops or in my water throughout the day. And I think it really helps me intake my water as well, which is really helpful, particularly when you're talking a lot or you're racing from from playground duty back into the classroom and so forth, and you maybe had a decision to either eat lunch, get a drink, go to the toilet, or make the photocopies. You can't have them all. It's like that little pyramid. I think it's great being able to just have that so easily accessible at times like that. Yeah, but definitely that afternoon, like binging, if I've taken my oil religiously through the day, that is just pretty awesome that I don't need to binge and feel that urge. Yeah, which I think is really great for the scales and for your blood sugar levels. And I just have to say, and I love how it's such a special product that whether your sugar levels are high or low, it helps to balance that. I just think that's remarkable. Like, it goes where it is needed. All doTERRA products on that cellular level is really awesome. Yeah. I've actually started dry brushing as well, like my upper thigh area. So I do that before I get in the shower. I just do that, a bit of circulation. I've got like a nice little brush. It's actually a beard brush, ladies. So you can totally use that. And I'm sure it's a lot more cheaper than a body brushing brush. But yeah, so I've just started doing that. So a bit of fractionated coconut oil, the oil itself, and I'm just doing my legs because obviously that's where your heavy cellulite stuff is when you had 4 babies. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've started doing too, which is really awesome.
Great tips. So you can make it easy. You don't have to think about doing your whole body. You can localize.
No, just that area is what I do. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, the thing I've noticed about you, Sylvia, is that you're just incredible, both online and doing your in-person workshops, your classes. And are you talking about MetaPWR with women, other women, men?
I do. So I'm 40 in January, and I often think about the perimenopause stuff because I got like a few like little symptoms and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" But you know what? I'm not scared of that. Not scared of the whole perimenopause scene because I've got this supercharge on board. And so when I speak to women of my age or those going through it or post, and I'm like, man, this product, just what I have seen testimonials, read about it, seen that it's a TGA approved product, which is so amazing. Being able to use that and talk to that to women is really powerful stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's so good what you're doing, sharing the word, and just the way you can relate to other teachers, but anyone in those sort of professions where it's a demanding day and or shift work, or say with your
Yes.
husband fly in, fly out, all the different
Yeah.
things that it can really support and give you a strong foundation. Uh,
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else you want to share about your MetaPWR journey, Sylvia? Maybe something I haven't asked
I
about?
think we might have covered it all. I know that people start MetaPWR for so many different reasons, and I just think it just encompasses so many aspects and covers so many things for our health, our wellness. Obviously, your hair and your nails and your skin look so much better with it, which is great. Thanks, collagen. But I've never really been one to worry about that sort of stuff, but it's just a nice little bonus that happens because, you know, at I think it's like 25 or something, the collagen in your skin starts to separate, like the elasticity in it. I'm really looking forward to being able to regain some of that too. But it's so awesome that we've got this product, Anna, that actually retains in our body and our body absorbs it and not just weird out. Yeah, it's just literally money down the drain if you're not using doTERRA MetaPWR. Like, it's just incredible.
Yeah, you can almost tell who's using MetaPWR by the way they've got that MetaPWR glow.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
In
Yeah.
gracefully. Sylvia, where do you go to read these testimonials you mentioned or to hear stories or research? Can you give us some tips? Where do you go?
Yeah, so our wonderful page where you can just search that. And like when I've got a couple of friends with endometriosis, and I wanted to find out some stuff because I personally don't have that. So I just wanted to be able to pull out some testimonials and look into what other people have been saying, how they've been using it, like whether they were double dosing and things like that. So I very much go on there. And then in the TGA book, there's some great stuff in there. But it's just really talking to people, Anna, like, and just seeing that difference. And I watch your Let's Chats, and I think it's just so good. You pick up other little bits and pieces, and then you keep them for when you need to have a conversation with someone else or that comes up. So yeah, that's how I do it, because I think that people's lived experience is really important, and you might be able to read research books on it, but I just think if it's changed someone's life, that's pretty bloody good.
So valuable, yeah.
Yeah.
Really Aussie there, Sylvia. You're definitely
Yeah.
right back home.
Yeah.
Can I ask, we'll finish it up with this last question. What advice would you give someone who's thinking about starting MetaPower? Maybe they've hearing these stories, like you're saying, and they're just on the verge of saying yes. What would you say to them?
Just do it, because you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain from it. And don't beat yourself up if you forget something, or you don't take your collagen, or you forgot your assist tablet, or whatever it might be. Just don't beat yourself up over it, because you're still daily habit stacking. You're still new to it, and it's okay. Like, we have this thing in our classroom. It's okay to make mistakes. It's just evidence we're learning. And so I think, don't be scared of it, and use your oil. Like, that oil seems to just be this endless bottle, because a little goes so far. You get 250 drops out of that. So just be like 3 or 4 drops in every time you're having a beautiful big glass of water or something. So just get that on you, in you, around you. Yeah, all of that good stuff.
Actually, do you diffuse it?
I do. Yeah, yeah. I love those smells. Like, it's just so uplifting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful blend with the citrus, the grapefruit, lemon, and then you've got the peppermint of just
Yeah, such a peppermint girl. Yeah.
ginger and
No, it's
cinnamon.
beautiful. Yeah. And like, when you look at those ingredients, they're so good for our tummies. Like, they really are. Like, those ingredients and those plants are just so amazing with digestive. And when we think about MetaPower and the metabolic properties of it, it makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. You've taken us on quite the journey. And like you said, we're always picking up tips and new ideas. So thank you for being the one to share them tonight.
Oh, bless. Thank you.
Lovely.
Thanks so much, Anna. This was wonderful. And thank you to everyone who was watching.